Time to check in on our business news this morning. John Ehrlichman from CNN Bloomberg has been looking at an important issue in the country, that is gender equality, specifically at the board level. He recently pulled together research on Canada's lack of female CEOs and board chairs among the TSX's top 100 companies. He joins us with more this morning. Good to have you here on this story.
Thanks for having me.
And an important one. We know that this was a topic that was discussed recently at G7.
Yes, absolutely.
This has been, people like Pamela Jeffries at WXN, they've been looking at this data for a long time. What surprised you?
It's disappointing data. That's the response that we got from a lot of people when we showed it to them, because diversity is a great thing. It makes this country a great place. But when you look at corporate Canada, it's a much different story. Now, you talked about the S&P TSX composite. When people talk about the Canadian stock market being up or down any day, these are the stocks that make up that index. We looked at the biggest 100 companies within that group, and we asked the question, how many women are running the companies within this group? And we found one. Calgary-based Canadian Utilities, which is run by Nancy Southern. So that's 1 out of 100 companies that are currently in that group being run by a woman. You've got 6 boards that are chaired by women. That's 6 in 100. 15 companies where there's just 1 woman on the board of directors, and 1 company within that group that doesn't even have a woman on the board of directors at all.
So where does the disconnect happen, John? Because if you ask any of these board members, they would all say to you, yes, we believe in the value of women in companies,
yes,
we believe in women leadership, but why doesn't it show up in the numbers?
Yeah, and that's a funny point. We asked the CEO of the company that has no women on his board, and he said, I actually work much better with women, and I'm working on finding one. The disconnect in many ways is just the rate at change. A lot of people are pushing to see more change because we know that there are fantastic female leaderships at all levels in this country. But you look at the board makeup in Canada, 14% of board members right now are women. Last year, when it came to new board positions that were open, 3/4 of those went to men. So it's that slow rate of change that leaves these numbers looking drastically different for so long.
Well, it's why certain countries, like in the UK, we see them putting quotas in place.
So that's one thing to watch for. Are the regulators going to do more? The positive note is that investors realize how important gender diversity is to running successful businesses. So in Canada and the US, a lot of investors now are using their shareholder votes to say, is your company gender diverse? And if not, then we're going to mandate some change.
I'm looking forward to those numbers because I always, get my back up a bit when people say, we just don't know where to find them. Well, they're there. And I would challenge back and say, you're not looking hard enough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right,
and we highlight that on our website today.
Good read to do this weekend. Thanks so much, John.
Henry.